Greetings, my name is David Summersong, and I am the Chief Inspirational and Developmental Officer of CrystalSimplicitySociety.org. The purpose of this short talk is to help you understand why you may want to apply to become an investor in the world's first prototype human cellular rejuvenation center, an ecologically positive, carbon negative, franchisable, self-sufficient gated community for 50,000 persons whose only byproduct and/or waste product is water vapor. One of the benefits to you of early investment at this time is the ability to be part of the initial human cellular rejuvenation series and perhaps an initial resident or staff member. I will give you the barest essentials for your understanding. Reading my website, davidsummersong.org, thoroughly will make you younger because it will begin to expand your limitations and horizons into new possibilities and potential outcomes. In order to effectively understand each other, we must have a mutual vocabulary. To facilitate this effort, please recall for me the moment in your young life when a mentor or other authority figure said to you, "Today is the day when you will learn to circulate your cerebral spinal fluid," and why this is important to your longevity, your vitality, your clarity of thought, your appetite and biochemical levels, your endurance, your immune system, your sexual experiential consciousness, and your life in general. In order to effectively participate as an investor, it will be necessary for you to open your thought pattern to one that will be willing to accept health and longevity as a given. It is important for you to know that the entire basis of healing and medicine is that there is no disease but congestion, and there is no cure but circulation. Alkalinity promotes circulation, while acidity promotes congestion. You have heard of inflammation as the cause of many diseases. Acidity obviously promotes inflammation, while alkalinity will soothe it. This is where further study of my website becomes obviously to your advantage. Since you are rapidly progressing down a path where you will reach a day when you are too busy to breathe, it may be good for you to understand how to stop pouring windshield washer fluid into the gas tank of your life and acknowledge that you have been entrained to deny and minimize yourself and ultimately self-terminate. Because our lives and points of view have been so different, I will explain to you how I have arrived at this point of information and experience that continues to allow me to go forward with this venture with great assurance of completion and profitability. You may have heard of a musical savant. This is a person with great musical abilities who has some other characteristics that are less enhanced. With musicians, this is sometimes obvious because they are blind, having devoted the brain tissue to a deeper quality of perceptual hearing awareness, sensitivity, and memorability. Savants come in all types. I am what could be called a scientific and literary savant. I began reading Greek, English, and Latin at age 2.5. Over a period of decades, I increased this to the ability to temporarily read in 149 languages at 25,000 words per minute with total photographic comprehension. I was additionally able to read a book with each eye at the same time, even in different languages. This talent left me the last time I had typhoid fever in Afghanistan. The interesting quality of my brain for me is that I remember all the text in sound, as if it had been read to me. At age 4, I had a ruptured appendix and spent 21 days in a coma. After emerging from the coma, I had the ability to see and hear the function of people's bodies in the form of energy and motion, and to transfer energy. Because of this, I became a hands-on healer and have worked on more than 1 million persons in 83 countries over the course of my history. The need to explain what I experienced with people and what happened when I put my hands on them merged with my ability to read. This caused me to examine the literature of the world, the last 8,000 years' worth, during my barefoot expeditions across these 83 countries as a medical researcher. The information I have gathered and the experiences that I have had is a direct result of these decades of research. I clearly understand human rejuvenation from many facets. You will find many of the fine details on my website. As a child, I was weak and sickly. To remedy this, I began martial arts and weightlifting at age 9. I progressed this level of effort and consciousness to participating in the world's strongest man contests during the late 1960s and early 1970s, and the study of every fighting system. In addition, I played Fight Club more than 1,000 times in the same 83 countries where I did medical research and healing. I was undefeated, untouched, and no fight ever lasted more than 10 seconds. As an additional insight into my character, please note that I quizzed each opponent about their attitude toward violence against women. I was quite certain to cause pain for those who felt it was appropriate to lay hands on women, and as gentle as possible with opponents who were human gentlemen. I never found it necessary to hit anyone more than once. It is important for you to know this because focus and determination are the telling factors in ultimate achievement. I have been speaking about this potential community since I was 2 years old. This gives me a track record of over 60 years of intentional focus on human well-being, health, and rejuvenation. At this point, early investors will be able to participate in the initial human rejuvenation process and potentially moving on-site into prototype glass housing. When the human rejuvenation process facility is complete, persons who are allowed to participate will donate 20% of their net worth for the privilege. Retreatment will take place every 10 years. It may have come to your attention by now that we have very different points of view on vigor and well-being. I will say the same thing to you that I have said to all the others throughout life who have disagreed with me. Check with me in 50 years, and we will see who is correct. They all leave the planet before they bring their uninformed opinion to me again. It is my full intent to franchise this community concept as a mechanistic device globally. To those persons who participate and support initially will accrue great privilege in longevity expectation and radiant health and wealth potential. Financial input is not the only type of investment, nor is it a guarantor of participation. Sincere effort to understand the overall vision and expand and communicate it as well as sweat equity will be recognized and rewarded as appropriate. Otherwise, the organization will be pretty much self-purging, as the scale of truth available checks the threshold of sincerity of potential participants. Because my level of medical, scientific, and Taoist martial arts education is well beyond excessive and vastly broad-scoped, I am able to have the understandings and make the conclusions necessary to create this prototype human cellular rejuvenation program. Interestingly, many of my points of view sound like spiritual utterances. This is because throughout human history, there have been persons who could stabilize their nervous systems enough to take control of their brain function rather than live out their lives with external imprints running their brain-based behavior patterns and thus limiting their life expectancy and potential enjoyment level. What I want to share with the world through the creation of a global network of healing, self-sufficient communities is a practical, simplistic approach to the physics of the universe as it applies to the care and operation of a manifested individual human body that is able to consciously modulate in order to maintain physical integrity within numerous possible situations. I am pragmatically scientific, and what I say is about physical universal law that allows and maintains manifested energy in form. I speak about a direct realization of source energy as the animator of personal existence and the ability to individualize consciously as the sole purpose of life. Otherwise, one is an unconscious robot doomed to extinction while following empty ritual and concept that does not renew their life force. I have been operating a nonprofit and/or chartered church since 1957 when I was 9 years old because of my healing gifts, and I have found that it will allow a great flexibility in investment arrangements and rewards. The counterbalance of being a savant and being so far ahead of the curve that no one knows that I am on the road is that no one knows that I am on the road. I am telling you today the same things that I told persons when I was an 8-year-old child writing my Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech that consisted of these 2 lines. What took you so long to recognize me? What will you help me do now? Small research will show you that savants, properly managed, will achieve great success. There are many problems and issues that will resolve to the simple solution of increased human alkalinity. Being my friend, classmate in life, and accomplice in revealing unlimited longevity and vitality potential as normal human function will be its own reward, because you cannot imagine how beautiful, relaxing, healthful, and humorously funny membership in CrystalSimplicitySociety.org can be. One of the things that I want to help you really know in your being is that you can only know the truth by how it feels. This talk is to help you know if you can or will feel, and if you can rejuvenate yourself and the world around you or not. I have done a lot of research to find out what I always really knew. Let me cause you to remember what you really are. Let me cause you to remember that you are a shining star. Or check with me in 50 years and tell me how your second-hand life has worked out for you and how it has been better than feeling the life force grow in you in each and every breath. There is a text copy of this talk on my website under transcripts. Please feel free to communicate with me if you have read sufficient amounts of my material to really feel that it is the right move for you and that living, growing, healing, and feeling is what you want to do with your own potentially unlimited future. Although I need financial lubrication to move forward my goals, money is a concept, whereas friendship and companionship are the true gold that is available in human life.